Hey y'all, what's up? Forgive my appearance. I know I'm looking horrible, but I just took out that sew-in. I gotta dye my black hair, and I'm still trying to decide how I'm gonna do my hair. So just never mind all that, right? So anyway, I wanted to come and talk to y'all about this Tasha K and Jaguar Wright interview. In case you do not know, Jaguar Wright is a person who's been in the industry for decades. More so though, behind the scenes, she was never able to reach her peak because she never totally sold out to the industry. Well, she has been coming out exposing the occult, because that's what the music entertainment industry, even politicians, they all are part of the occult. Just different branches in it, like the military, different branches. So Jaguar Wright been coming out. She been exposing everyone and everything. People are getting pissed about it. Well, she has been working with Storm Monroe, doing a lot of interviews with him. It's been a hit. It's been going viral. In case you don't know who Storm Monroe is and how he fits into this, he is Tasha K's protege. She mentored him, invested in his brand, his channel, or whatever. It's been doing great. He has been soaring, and he got even bigger and went viral from doing the interviews with Jaguar Wright. And people been loving it, and they've been begging for his I can't talk. His subscriptions have went up and everything, which means more hits, more money, right? So, and people been begging for him to continue working with her and for her to come on. So he had came out and stated like, I will have Jaguar Wright back, but this is the Storm show, like, let's not forget that this is my show, which is a smart move, because people could turn around and the chemistry was so great between them, but people could come to love that so much that that's what they seek instead of seeking him on his own, and he could not be as fruitful by himself as he has already been. I personally though was thinking that Tasha K might have been the one who told him that, and although it was great advice, it was with ulterior motives. I could picture her coming and saying like, hey, you probably should chill out with how much you're interviewing Jaguar Wright, because you don't want people to only expect or get used to just seeing you two together and only expect that, and then they lose interest in just seeing you. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. Good advice, but I think it was with ill intent, because now she the same one who told everyone she wasn't doing an interview with Jaguar Wright. She even came out and said something to the effects of like, oh, well, I was offered the interview with Jaguar Wright, but I didn't take it. I tossed that on to Storm Monroe. So if that is true, the case could have been that where Tasha is trying to move and go, and what Jaguar Wright was speaking about. Sorry, I got this. Whatever, that's one, please. Just wrong with it. But anyway, I hope y'all can hear me. So it could have been a situation where Tasha K is trying to move and what Jaguar was talking about. Tasha K trying to build and go into the industry, right? We've already been seeing over months now her doing the hand gestures of the occult and all that kind of stuff. So she's trying to move into it and move up. I think she's in initiation phase right now. She mentioned about having a deal. I think whoever the entity is that's behind her probably don't want to be known yet. She in trial phase. They want to see where this can go. So I think she might have had originally thought like, okay, I don't want to touch the Jaguar Wright stuff because I'm trying to move into the industry, and she is exposing the industry. I'm going to skip that over to him so I can try and keep my image and what I'm doing clean, not burn any bridges, get on any bad sides. Well, what's turned around and happened, and what Tasha K decided to do was go ahead and do an interview with Jaguar Wright, talking about that Storm, what he doing is good, but he ain't doing it right. A lot of people was pissed about that. Crap, I'm going the wrong way, running my mouth. But anyway, so a lot of people was pissed about that, like, why are you hating on him and all of a sudden saying that what he did wasn't good enough, he ain't do it right, and all that kind of stuff. Shame, for real. And one of the things that I have paid attention to is, over the course of the last couple of months, Tasha had been giving Storm Monroe backhanded compliments, kind of. A lot of people were saying that they seen shade in the compliments she was giving him, like congratulating him on him coming up and where he's going. What I seen is it was more so like backhanded compliments, in the sense of she was giving him a compliment, but more so giving herself the compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like tooting her own horn. And initially, I ain't see any problem with that. I looked at it like, well, I'm not gonna fault her for that. If you worked hard, this was your first time trying to invest in someone, build them up, and they are being successful, doing great, yeah, you can be proud of him, but you're gonna be proud of yourself too. Like, okay, yeah, this is great. I am good at this. I can do this. I can sign more people. I have clear evidence that I can make them successful if they work with me and stuff. So initially, I ain't had no problem with that, but she continued to do it. It was like she could not give him a compliment without basically sucking off her own self. You get what I'm saying? And people got annoyed by that. Well, anyway, so now we get here to, she does the interview with Jaguar Wright. It was a snipe job. It was a unsuccessful one. But what Tasha K was trying to do was snipe Jaguar Wright. And I'm going to tell you what I think, because she mentioned herself that she has been contacted by, yeah, that's where I need to go. She mentioned herself, she had been contacted by Alicia Keys, right? So she's letting us know about an industry connection that she has right there. And that Alicia Keys had problems with the stuff that Jaguar Wright was saying about her, and was claiming that she didn't know her. Jaguar Wright nipped that in the bud, like that's bull crap. And every turn, Tasha K just kept trying to find ways to discredit her. That's what she was sent in to do, to expose Jaguar Wright as being mentally ill, being a liar, trying to just get a come up and some attention, because those were basically things that she kept mentioning, trying to get from her. And also, she was sent in to find out her location. You know people are after this girl. You know what she is saying is dangerous, but you're trying to tell her to tell where she at, where she living at. You're trying to get her to reveal not just her location, but also her husband. Because I kept paying attention that Tasha K kept trying to bring Jaguar Wright's husband into the frame. She kept asking him questions. You supposed to be interviewing this woman. Part of what she was doing that, I looked at it, she was trying to expose him. Maybe they ain't got a good full look at him, a picture of him, and her job was for them to be able to identify who her husband was, because that's another way they'll be able to get close to her if they can find him as a weak link or out there somewhere and stuff. That'll get them more information on where he lived, all of that type of stuff. So I think they were trying to get a clear identification of him, so her job was to put him into the frame. But she also kept basically cross-referencing, using him to cross-reference what Jaguar Wright was saying, to see if she could get him to say something opposite or opposing to what Jaguar Wright was saying, which is a true slap in the face. Like, her whole intent is she didn't even do it covertly. Like, she's not skilled enough to have been able to not only trap them up, but do it to where it was obvious that you are trying to trap them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, luckily Jaguar Wright and her husband, they handled it well. Jaguar Wright is very intelligent. She knows how the industry works and what's going on. So, you know, she handled it all with grace. But, so Tasha K, working for these higher up, your handlers have sent you to try and discredit this woman. Tasha would go up some notches, because now it'll be a situation of, and it would have went viral. Tasha K was able to discredit, expose, and kill off Jaguar Wright. She goes higher, while also, you gotta keep in mind, that closes the door from Storm. Storm wouldn't be able to interview with Jaguar Wright anymore, which he had been growing from those interviews. That would close the door for him as well. So she one of those, and what it takes me with this Storm Monroe thing is, she's one of those, I don't want you doing as good as me or better than me. I want you to stay under me. I want to always be able to have claim. I don't want the student to surpass the teacher. So people were right when they were spotting it and saying that she is hating on Storm Monroe. And that's clear and obvious that she has gotten a bit jealous of his success, because it's going further than what she can control, right? She don't want to see him as an equal, or for him to get as big as her, or to propel her. Or to go higher than her. So this would have been a good way. If she could have took down Jaguar Wright, then this would have also been a bruise on him. The work he's already done with her, and stopped him from being able to do future work with her. The other thing that it would have done is, and what I picked out Wendy, like an amateur version of Wendy. That's what Tasha K was trying to do. I think that she thought too highly of herself, thought she had this in the bag, and thought too little of Jaguar Wright. First thing in tactical warfare that you always need to remember when you're trying to go to war, leading a start on someone: never overestimate your own position and never underestimate your opponent's position. Tasha K did both of those things, and it showed, and that's why she failed at it. Now, her handlers might not be too mad of her lack of success, because they might look at it like, okay, this is you getting your chops. You know, it is experience, and it's our failures that help us to be even better. So they might not kick her ass too much over that, or they might be pissed. But I'm gonna tell you, that's the other reason why whoever she signed to and whatever entity she's working under and that's sent her, like for this type of job, they are hidden and don't want to be known. They're not claiming her as of yet, although she is an initiated going up there. She has to prove herself. This one didn't do it for her. It would have propelled her. She would have successfully been able to end this Jaguar Wright craze. Got the people to turn on her, lose interest in her, got her tripped up, because then it would have been, oh, Tasha K was the only one who could expose her and get rid of her and shut her down. They would have rewarded her abundantly for that. She did not succeed at it though. There's something else I'm about to say. But if you go and watch the interview, it was horrible. It was horrible. And Tasha K, a lot of people in them comments were saying that they unsubscribed, that they never watching or supporting her anymore. Even Jaguar Wright said at the end of it, like, I hope that people still support you. Now, this is what I was looking at. I am going to put in the link, my other video that I made of Jaguar Wright. One of the things that I had stated in that video is that it's possible that Jaguar Wright is controlled opposition and have been given authority, permission to expose certain people and certain things about the industry, since we already know a lot of their skeletons are coming out of their closet. I'm going to put that link in the video. I think that possibly still could be the case. This is not giving me a clear definite. It could have been possible that Tasha K was to come on and give the impression, make it look to the people, that she was trying to discredit this woman, but everything is so real and true, she wasn't able to do it because Jaguar is right, or something like that. It could have been that, because what threw me off was Jaguar Wright. Yes, it was classy and graceful, but the way that she was giving Tasha K props at the end made me think like, oh, because the way that these people in this occult work is they help each other out. If they are taken down, it's by one of their own and stuff like that. So it made me think like, oh, was Tasha K just supposed to be in here to just reaffirm her and wasn't actually supposed to be, she wasn't supposed to successfully take her down? Like, that could be a play. Tasha K's initiate coming up in the industry, and Jaguar Wright, whether you want to accept or believe it's a light or not, she at least was in the industry, if she not still is. So I looked at that like, oh, is Jaguar Wright still part of the sisterhood part of it, and Tasha K's a new initiate. Okay, here we're going to use Tasha K to be the one to attempt to discredit Jaguar Wright, but Jaguar Wright will come out succeeding in the end, because Jaguar Wright said at the end of that interview, like, oh, you are so bright, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, I hope that you continue to go, you are a brilliant person. And like, she was doing all that, and I'm like, okay, that's more than, to me, you just being graceful. That seems more to me like, oh, this was a pre-planned, the way it went was how it was planned to go, and that's why she is reaffirming Tasha K, even though Tasha K just tried to snipe your ass. Tasha K went into you mentally ill. Oh yeah, Tasha K was also being a hypocrite. Like, she wanted to call out Jaguar Wright, talking about, you're telling other people business. Were you there? Did you see it? And it's like, Tasha K, your entire career is built off speculation and your so-called private sources that's telling you what's going on in business. So why would you call yourself coming after her, talking about what she did and didn't witness, or what she there for? So she, like, some of the stuff that Tasha K was saying and doing in the video was hypocritical, and just was like, girl, sit down somewhere. But I still want to see how this fall out. Other people had already been trying to warn Storm Monroe about Tasha K, and they have been trying to warn him and tell him like, look, this girl really don't got your true best interest at heart. I wonder, has he already started seeing that himself, or do he now see that for what it is? Like, okay, yeah, she helped you, but it was never with her actually being mentally or emotionally prepared to watch you actually blow up. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, she helped you, but she only wants you to be under her as long as she's getting the credit for it and she's higher than you. She wants to try and keep you under her. So I wonder how Storm Monroe feels and sees this, of her backhanded compliments, of her secret hating and all of that kind of stuff. As far as with the Jaguar Wright and her, I want to see how this continues to unfold, because Tasha K is going to have to come back and give a follow-up about this interview, because people were in the comment, like 90% of the comments were people saying, I'm unsubscribed, bitch, you a hater, bitch, you lame, I believe Jaguar Wright, you ain't shit, this wasn't an interview, this was an assassination attempt. Well, no, they wasn't calling it an assassination attempt, they was calling it a, crap, what's the word for it? They were just saying it wasn't an interview, it was a, anyway, y'all get the point. I can't think of the words right now. But yeah, so it was just so much going on, and people seen through Tasha K's attempt. She was unsuccessful at it. She still got a lot of learning to do. Like, she wasn't even savvy enough to covertly do her snipe job, let alone skilled enough to pull it off. Like, it was obvious what was going on and what she was attempting to do. Is there anything else I wanted to speak on about this? Okay, right. She's an initiate of any occult. She tried to snipe Jaguar Wright. She was hypocritical. Jack dodged all of them, but it could have been pre-planned for her too, because Jack could still be a part of the occult herself. Storm Monroe, she is hating on Storm Monroe because she don't want to see him doing better than her. She was trying to pull the husband in. Because, yeah, it's like she was trying to get this, like, where's your location? Oh, yeah, that was the other way she was trying to discredit her. Because that was the whole point of her interview with this girl, was to attempt to discredit her and cut her lifeline of people actually even caring to hear what she even got to say anymore. She kept asking, like, well, if you're saying that people should just sue you because... if you're lying, how would they even be able to sue you since you won't stay in one location? Where's your location? Where are you at? This is like everything that she was doing was saying it was obvious and clear. You were sent in by someone. Your handler sent you in. Your industry connection sent you in. That's why I want to know what entity she is under. They don't want to show their hand yet. So they got her having to be quiet about this deal. I'm wondering, is it YouTube directly? Who's she up under? Because the person who running YouTube now was the same people who's over certain record labels and stuff like that. But it's some machine entity behind that girl right now, who's her handler. She's doing their bidding. And I want to know who that is. But yeah, Tasha K needs to do better. Y'all tell me, and just think, if Tasha K is already behaving like she is, like with this little blow up thing where her whatever deal she just signed undercover with that NDA with it, if she's already behaving like this, just it's like she's already sold out basically, just imagine how much worse she's going to get as she moves up in the business. But I've seen a lot of resemblances of her basically like trying to be a Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, though, is a pro in this game. Tasha K, hey, she might end up reaching those heights. But at what cost? Like, she has ambition. Nothing wrong with having ambition. What becomes a problem with having ambition is when you become willing to compromise yourself and others to get there. And it's evident that she is willing to do that. She don't want to see Storm do great. She want to see him do good enough for her to have the credit for it. She don't want him to see him do great though. He is moving well out here. Like, okay, yeah, you gave him the baton and he's running with it. That's what you want from, like, the same with your children, right? You set it up for your children to be able to go further than you. If this is your protege, this your student, why are you hating that he might be eye to eye to you now or surpass you? That's what she's doing. Like, no, I need to keep him to where he's under me. I don't know if it's just because she feels threatened by his success, like, okay, he will become direct competition. I don't know if it's just jealousy, like, well, I don't know what it is, because you just gotta look at how people move sometimes. Sometimes people are a matter of they want to see you do well, but once they start seeing you do well, they become jealous and threatened by it, especially if they feel that you're going to do well without them. He's at the place now where he can do well without her, and I don't think that she likes that. And that's why people always say, even in industry, as far as music industry, they always say an artist should never sign to another artist. Why? Especially now that they're still in artist mode, because they are going to hate when they see you doing just as good as them, getting praised and loved just as much as them, let alone if you are to outshine them and do more. That's why you get a lot of artists who end up signing artists. What happens? They always end up folding and falling apart, because that artist that signed them starts getting jealous of the love, the light, the attention, or the peak of their career is headed in. And that's what's happening in this situation. Storm Monroe signed to another artist, and that artist is now like, no, I don't want you doing good as me or better than me. No, I have to put a capsize on you. And I think that was also her other agenda of taking this interview and then dog it. Like, why would you do that? What would make you come and say he didn't do a good job? I'm about to show him how it's done. Are you serious, girl? Why wouldn't you just say, like, hey, I changed my mind, I decided I wanted to interview her too, and just leave it at that? Instead, she decided to take shots at him. That's the issue. That's the problem, and that's what shows and reveals it all. Of that, as far as being a friend, the bitch ain't shit, or as far as being a mentor, a teacher, the bitch ain't shit. Because the teacher who don't want to see their student go further than them is a teacher who will withhold knowledge and information so that you cannot go higher. You can't deal with who will close doors that you never even knew was willing to open, because they don't want to see you grow or surpass them or move out on your own. Some people have that mindset where they like people to need them, and if she don't want to see him get to a place where he don't need her. He already there though. So I also look at it like that. She wanted to close that door, like, up, if I can destroy this chick, Storm Monroe, he can't move forward anymore with her. And people might come back to him and be like, dude, you was doing all them interviews with her, had us believing her and all this, and look, Tasha K just revealed and exposed that the chick a liar, she was a fraud. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all leave in the comments, tell me what y'all think about all of this. Out.